Jordan B. Peterson, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. In the story of Pinocchio, a little puppet gets his wish. He loses the strings that have been used to control his life and gets the opportunity to be a real independent boy. But what Pinocchio didn't realize was that this also meant coping with all the dangers of real life, as well as the painful lessons to be learned through honesty, friendship, and family. Classic stories like Pinocchio, as well as many other popular myths, fairy tales, and religious parables, all portray the task of finding meaning in life as a balancing act between order and chaos, the familiar and the exotic, or security and adventure. People continue passing on and rereading historical texts along with the works of philosophers such as Socrates and Aristotle because we yearn for universal values and rules to give our lives meaning. And these are the themes that author Jordan B. Peterson has taken into consideration when making a new list of 12 such values to help modern people through today's chaotic times. Hierarchies are a common facet of life in societies around the world, so give yourself an advantage with good posture. You've probably heard of the phrase the pecking order, right? But do you know where it originated? It comes from the Norwegian zoologist Thorleif Schjelderup Eby, who was studying barnyard chickens in the 1920s when he noticed that there was a clear hierarchy among these birds. At the top were the healthiest, strongest ones that always got to peck first when the chicken feed came. At the bottom were the weakest chickens, with their feathers falling out, who only got to peck at the leftover crumbs. Pecking orders like this aren't limited to chickens. They occur naturally throughout the animal kingdom. Lobsters, for instance, whether they're in the ocean or raised in captivity, will aggressively fight over the best and most secure spots for shelter. Scientists have found that these competitive conflicts will lead to the winners and losers having different chemical balances in their brains. Winners will have a higher ratio of the hormone serotonin to octopamine, while the ratio in losers will tilt in the opposite direction. These levels can even affect the posture of lobsters. More serotonin will lead to the winners being more agile and upright, and more octopamine makes losers tense and curled up. This difference will factor into further confrontations as the upright lobsters will appear bigger and more intimidating, causing the tense ones to remain submissive. As you may have guessed, similar hierarchies and cycles of winning and losing play out among humans. Studies have shown that those in the grips of alcoholism or depression are less likely to enter a competitive situation, which only reinforces more inactivity and continued low self-esteem and depression. Conversely, those on a winning streak often present a swaggering and confident body language, which can help them keep their streak alive. Just like lobsters, humans are constantly measuring themselves up against each other, and we associate a person's intelligence with their physicality. So, if you're trying to give yourself an advantage, follow the first rule. Hold your head high and strike the posture of a winner. The wrong companions can drag you down, so choose your friends wisely. One of the author's childhood friends never left the prairies of his northern Canadian hometown, Fairview, Alberta. Instead, he stuck around and ended up among the town's other ne'er-do-wells. Every once in a while, the author would return home and catch up with his friend, and each time his friend's slow, sad decline became more apparent. What was once youthful potential became aging resentment. For the author, it became clear that those ne'er-do-wells were bringing his friend down and holding him back in life. And this is something that can happen to anyone, anywhere. In a workplace setting, a similar dynamic can play out when an underachiever is put into a team of high performers. The manager might think that this will result in the problematic employee picking up good habits from the others. But studies have shown that the opposite is more likely to happen, and the bad habits will start to spread and bring down everyone's performance. This is why the third rule is to make sure you surround yourself with supportive friends, as these are the kinds of friendships that can bring about positive change. Being picky about your friends is a smart move and is not selfish or snobby. Supportive and encouraging friendships run both ways. When you need a boost, they'll be there for you, and if your friend needs help to rebound from a setback or make an improvement, you'll be there for them. This dynamic can encourage individual success, and as part of a team, it can lead to great social accomplishments. When the author left Fairview for college, he joined a group of like-minded individuals who helped each other in their studies and in many other accomplishments, such as creating a newspaper and running a successful student union. You'll know you have good friends when they don't tolerate your wallowing in negativity. They'll want what's best for you, so they'll encourage you to snap out of it and get back on track.